Hello students. So today we are going to deal with the subject that is management concepts and organizational behavior, and I, Dr. Priya Raj Batolia, Assistant Professor, Bohra Institute of Management Sciences, will deal with the topic that is principles of direction. The topics to be covered are in this video: first is introduction, concept, definition, features, importance, principles and functions of directing. So, what is directing all about? Direction determines your destination. If you want to reach a particular destination, direction is very essential. If you go in the wrong direction, the destination will never be achieved. It is also rightly said that your direction is more important than your speed. If you have a proper speed, but if you are in the wrong direction, you will never reach your destination. So, now what is directing all about? Directing refers to the process of technique of instructing, guiding, inspiring, counseling, overseeing and leading people towards the accomplishment of organizational goals. In directing, basically the manager has to instruct, he needs to guide, he also needs to inspire, counsel, oversee and lead his employees towards attainment of the goals or objective. Directing is a continuous managerial process that initiates and at top level and flows to the bottom. Generally, direction is done by the top level management. It flows to the middle level and then at the lower level of the management. So, here it has been discussed that directing is a very crucial and very important function of management, as the function of management starts with planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Without directing, planning, organizing and staffing fails, because with the help of this paperwork, if you do not have any specific direction, you cannot move ahead, you cannot attain your objective. So, directing is very crucial and it is a continuous managerial function. Directing is also a clueless thing which allows you to follow a particular path. It helps you in the attainment of goals and objectives. It also minimizes conflict, and somewhere you can see that it is a primary function because it supports your planning, organizing and staffing. All the three things need a particular sense of direction. The concept of directing, it is a heart of management process. It initiates action and it is from where your actual work starts. It encourages the subordinate to work effectively and efficiently. As I told you earlier that the management process starts with planning, organizing, staffing and then followed with directing. So, it is a heart of management process because all the things are done on paperwork. Here the actual work starts, that you need to direct the staff, the subordinates, the employees. So, it is the heart of management, and here the actual process starts, means here the guiding, the leading, the inspiring process starts, where you need to show the path to your employees, how they have to move, where they have to move and what are the objectives defined. It also somewhere encourages the subordinates so that they can work very effectively and very efficiently. Coming on to the definition of directing. Directing concerns the total manner in which a manager influences the action of subordinates. Direction is basically the activity done by a manager in which he influences the action of a subordinate. He somewhere leads the action of a subordinates, he guides. It is the final action of manager in getting others to act after all preparation have been completed. Here the manager, after defining the objectives, he needs to guide his employees for the attainment of objective. Another definition is direction consists of the process and techniques utilizing in issuing instructions and making certain that operations are carried out as planned. So, here again direction is a process in which the manager has to issue instructions and he has to make certain operations done which are already been set by the top management in terms of the objectives or the goals. So, here the manager has to guide, inspire the employees, he need to show the path as per the objectives of the organization. Now, let us discuss all the definition and all the concepts in a very clear manner with the help of example. There is a very good example. So, let us see the example. Roshan is a chief in Khidmat restaurant located in the city of Bangalore. The place is also known for its famous Mughlai cuisine and especially mutton biryani and kebabs. All the food is prepared under Roshan's purview. The various activities in the kitchen are initiated in accordance to his instruction. He is very clear and specific in issuing instructions to his subordinates in order to ensure smooth working of the department. He personally oversees the method followed by the chef for preparation of each dish. He misses no opportunity to praise his subordinates for their good work. All his team members feel very happy and satisfied under his direction. He provides constant guidance to them in order to improve upon its taste and presentation. He also encourages them to innovate and be more creative in their work. Now, with the help of Roshan, who is the owner of Khidmat restaurant, we will discuss the story of direction. Roshan is basically the owner of the restaurant which is situated in Bangalore. The restaurant is basically famous for his Mughlai cuisine, that is mutton biryani and kebabs. Now, generally the chef used to do the preparation of mutton biryani and kebab, and which was always overseen by Roshan purview. All the things were prepared under his guidance. He always used to instruct his chef for the dishes, for the preparations and accordingly for the presentations in front of the customers. He used to also see the methods of preparation by the chef, and he also used to appraise the employees, the chef, the waiters of the restaurant, so that they will be motivated to achieve more good recipes and present more beautifully in front of customers. He also used to guide them constantly on the basis of test and presentation of the dishes with some new innovative work. So, basically he was a manager, he was an owner who used to support and direct his chef, his employees to achieve the objective, that is a good customer service, in the sense that customers will be more satisfied and they will have a regular visit in their restaurants. So, with the help of Roshan, we have discussed that he was a manager, he was a owner who used to direct, who used to guide his employees accordingly, and he used to also motivate them to prepare a good cuisine. So, this is a very good example of directing. Coming on to the features of directing. Point number 1, directing is a pervasive action. Here it means that it is applicable at all the levels of management. Directing is applicable at lower level, middle level as well as at the top level of management. So, it is pervasive in nature. Point number 2, it is a continuous activity. Directing is a never ending process. The day you start the organization till the day you liquidate the organization, you need to have a continuous directing process. In directing, somewhere other things are included, like first you need to plan, you need to organize, you need to staff the employees accordingly, and then you need to guide and you need to oversee the employees. So, this is basically a continuous function. Point number 3, it is a human factor. As you need to motivate the employees and they are somewhere very complex in their behavior. Their behavior is actually very unpredictable in terms of working pattern. So, here you have to be very careful while guiding and overseeing the employees, because the human nature is very complex, and for the attainment of organizational goal, the directing part is very crucial because it deals with employees and the human part. Point number 4 is it helps in achievement of dual objectives. Here what does dual objective means? Here the manager has to achieve two objectives in the terms that first, according to the direction, he will help the employees to do the work themselves, and secondly, if he is not able to do the work, the manager will have an opportunity to explore new things and he will get the work done by himself. So, this two dual opportunities or objectives helps the manager in direction process. Next is it initiates action. Somewhere, as it has been already said, that the function of management starts with planning, organizing and staffing, then the fourth comes into direction. So, actually in this all the three process, somewhere direction gives the actual way out, actually the path where the employees needs to work, where they needs to focus, and accordingly direction initiates the action. It helps the employees to move ahead to follow a particular path and helps in the attainment of the organizational goals. It is a delegate function. Somewhere direction helps the manager to assign works to his employees. He also somewhere allows them with a particular set of authorities and responsibilities for which they are very much responsible enough. Here the manager makes the employees responsible in his or her area with the help of his guidance, and hence it is a delegate function. It is a linking function as it has or it creates a link between planning and controlling. As the management starts with planning, it links with organizing, then staffing, directing and finally controlling. So, all the initial first three steps are actually linked with controlling with the help of direction. So, direction actually helps in the linking function between the planning and controlling. Like in planning, the objectives are set, and in controlling process you can actually see what the outcome is, and if there are certain issues, direction is a function which actually oversees and motivates the employees to work in a particular manner. Next is the importance of directing. What is directing all about and why it is important? Directing initiates action. Again, directing is a point where actually the work starts. The employees understand what is being expected, they are aware of the goals, and hence it is based on planning, organizing and staffing. With the help of that, somewhere or the other, the employees are being communicated, motivated, supervised for the attainment of the particular goal. It integrates efforts. Direction somewhere helps the employees to have to perform in a particular set of their department, which finally all the departments come together and synchronizes to do a particular work. So, here the integration of efforts are brought into picture with the help of all the departments, all the units, all the subunits, and here the employees perform together and their efforts in total do a miracle in the company. So, it integrates the efforts in the organization. It motivates employees. Direction generally helps the employees to guide in a particular way, and when the attainment of the goal is achieved, somewhere employees are being motivated in terms of monetary and non-monetary benefits. Motivation somewhere helps in satisfying goals, and it also helps in the fulfillment of human needs. So, when the attainment of goal is aligned with satisfying human needs, the employees feel motivated. It provides stability. Stability in the sense that employees generally have a satisfaction factor in the working environment while they work. If they don't get that kind of satisfaction level in the organization, generally employees leave the organization. So direction is a point where manager helps the employee to work accordingly in a specific direction. Here there is no confusion regarding the work, and whenever the problem arises, the employee can come to a manager and solve his or her problem. So this would help him to work very effectively, and hence he will never leave the organization because he is completely satisfied with the work environment, and hence it provides stability to the employees. Coping up with change. Generally, the environment in the organization is never static. Changes occur every now and then. So, it is a work of a manager to generally make the employee to accept the change and also help them to cope up with the change. Here the manager has to direct the employees that regarding why the change are occurring, and they will also help and he will also help the employees to adapt the change. So, here the manager plays a very crucial role in coping up with change or in the adjustment of the employees when the change occurs. Last is the effective utilization of resources. In organization, there are many resources in abundance like men, money, material, method, space. So, these resources should have an alignment with the organizational goals. So, somewhere the manager is the one who directs and gives a specific direction to everyone in the sense that the resources have a clear alignment with the organizational objective. So, these are the important points to be covered in the importance of the directing. Coming on to the next heading, that is the principles of directing. Now, point number 1, maximum individual contribution. Here the individual contribution comes out to be maximum because he has been directed, he has been inspired in a proper way that what is being expected and what he has to be done. He has a clear idea of what is being expected. So, with the help of manager, if he has any problems or any challenges during the work environment, he will get a help from his manager, and at that point of time he will give his maximum contribution for the attainment of goal. Point number 2 is harmony of objective. Direction also leads to the harmony of objective. Here the harmony needs to be that the organizational objectives and the individual objective should somewhere be coordinated together, should somewhere comes together in a particular picture. If they have a common objective, then the harmony of objective can be achieved with the help of direction, and it motivates the employees too. Unity of command. Unity of command is basically when a single person give instructions to employees, the work becomes easy. If the employees needs direction from many managers, here it creates a confusion in the mind of employees and he cannot work properly. So, unity of command is essential because if one manager give instructions to his employees, there will be a clarity in the work environment, and hence the employees will not get confused and they will work accordingly to the instructions of the single or the one manager. Appropriate direction technique. Here the appropriate direction technique is required in terms of direction. Here the manager can follow some of the direction techniques like authoritative, democratic or free rein. It all depends on the situation, which techniques are suitable, and according to which technique the manager will get the work done. Somewhere he needs to maintain or establish the authoritative part. Somewhere he needs to be consultative, in which he can ask for a say from his from his employees, he can ask for their opinions, and sometimes the manager needs to free and give a free environment to the employees so that they can work according to their own nature of or pattern of work. So, here with the help of 3 techniques, manager needs to direct the employees, and it all depends on the human factor. Managerial communication, the next point. Managerial communication is very crucial because communication is basically the exchange of facts, ideas and opinions. Communication actually bridges the gap between misunderstanding. It helps to minimize the misunderstanding level between a manager and employees, and hence all the things and all the problems are properly communicated in the two-way process. If manager has any expectation from employees, then he will communicate it. If employees have any problems or challenges during the work environment, simultaneously he will again report to his manager. In that sense, there will be a two-way communication process, and direction, and in directing, the communication part is very much essential in the part of the manager. The effective the communication is, the effectively the work will be done. Use of informal organization. Here informal organization means, in organization you can see many formal groups as well as some informal groups. You can see when any particular news is to be spread, informal groups usually take time, but in informal groups the news or the rumor spend in very quick short of span. So, here with the help of informal groups, direction becomes efficient and easy. So, in the terms of directing, somewhere the manager should use with the help of informal groups or informal organization, it is easy for him to get the work done. So, direction sometimes also use the informal organization to get the work done. And last is the leadership. The leader is the one who who instruct his employees. He actually motivates and inspires the people, and he is the one to which the people generally follows. So, a manager should always be a good leader in the terms that whatever his instructions are, the employee will be following the same. So, he should be a good leader and he should have the good team as well. Here these are the principles of directing which are very important on the part of manager, and with the help of or with the ability of a manager, it will be very easy to achieve the organizational goals if the direction part is very effective in nature. Either it can be terms of harmony of objective, unity of command, with the help of a proper suitable direction technique, or either the communication or the leadership qualities of a manager. Next is the functions of direction. Coming on to the function of direction, point number 1 is issuing instructions and orders. Here the manager has to instruct some specific or general, written, oral, or sometimes formal or informal instructions to the employees. With the help of these instructions or orders, the employees will get a clear picture of the objectives and they will work accordingly. Next, guiding, counseling and teaching the subordinates. In direction or directing, the manager needs to guide, counsel or teach the subordinates accordingly, and with the help of his guidance, he will help the employees to achieve the organizational goals. Point number 3, supervising the work of subordinates. Somewhere in direction, the manager needs to supervise, oversee or instruct the work of a subordinates. If any problem occurs, simultaneously he will help his employees to solve at that particular situation. Point number 4, motivating the subordinates. Here manager needs to motivate the subordinate. He needs to somewhere satisfy the human needs in terms of financial and non-financial benefits, and likewise the employees will feel motivated regarding the work environment. He also needs to maintain discipline. Discipline is very important in direction. Without discipline or without a without having a proper schedule or set of pattern, direction is not at all possible, because with the help of a time and specificity of the work, discipline comes into picture, and with the help of discipline, direction becomes easy on the part of employees. And last is the consultative direction. Here the manager needs to ask for suggestions and opinions from his employees, and then he should work accordingly to the feasibility of the environment of the organization. If the manager asks for the consultative direction from his employees, if he have a joint consultation with his employees and he asks for his suggestions, obviously the decision making process becomes very easy and the directing part is very improved, and the manager needs actually understands the problem and he can easily achieve the goals. Coming on to the last slide, that is elements of directing. First is supervision, as it has already been discussed that a manager needs to be a good supervisor, he needs to oversee all the things very properly. In supervising, the person or the manager comes in direct contact with the employee, and actually here he is the one who can guide his employees in a proper sense. Motivation, the manager needs to be a good motivator, he needs to motivate his employees to get the work done somewhere in the terms of records and recognition and for the attainment of objective. A manager needs to be a good leader. The leader is the one who inspires and builds confidence, zeal among his employees. So a good leader is the one who is the one who basically motivates or helps his employees to for the attainment of objectives. So the manager needs to be a good leader. If he is a good leader, obviously his followers, his subordinates will follow his instructions and will help in the organization. And last is the motivation. Here the manager has to be a good motivator. He needs to motivate his employees every now and then so that the employees will work according to his instructions, according to his guidance, and at the other point they will help in the alignment of organizational goals. So today students, we have learned about the concept or the principles of direction, in which we have discussed about what direction is all about. We have also seen the definition of direction along with the feature, importance, functions, principles and elements of direction. So thank you students, have a nice day.